Good afternoon, everyone in Europe, and for the Brazilians, good morning. You all made it so early in the morning, especially for Maria. Maria is our special guest today. She's just 17 years old, and I met her through her godfather, who is a very nice and very good friend of mine. Maria has been joining me and my teenager group for already, I think, at least 2 months. So we try to meet each other as often, as much as often, sometimes twice a week. Some weeks we are not able to. Anyhow, I got to meet Maria and I know her quite well by now, but I'd like to introduce her to you guys. And it's going to be her first time talking to adults and from the other part of the world. Most of the guys here, Maria, they are in Brazil, all right? So they're going to be very curious about your country and maybe about your lifestyle. So please tell us a little bit about you before we start with the questions. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Maria. As you know, I'm from Poland. I'm 17 and I'm still in high school. I don't work because legally I can't in Poland. And I attend bilingual class with English
All right.
in
That was
Radom.
good, Maria. Maria, tell us, why do you like English so much? And is it a dream of yours to become, let's say, an English teacher someday? Because we have some guys here who teach English. They can give you some tips.
In the past, I thought about becoming an English teacher, but it's mostly because I wanted to meet people from all over the world. And nowadays, English, you really need it for work and for traveling. And yeah, I just wanted. Now it's really, you really need to know English. And at first, to be honest, I didn't like it at all.
Oh,
I didn't like English at all when I was a little kid, but it was mostly because of my English teacher in primary school. So yeah.
oh, you see how important that is to have a good teacher. All
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna let the guys start with the questions. Nielsen, please.
Okay, good morning, guys. It's a pleasure for us to have you today here, Maria. Feel welcome. I would like to ask about education. You said that you didn't like English back then when you were just a child. And when did you realize that now I am fluent in English? Now I can talk. I'm confident about myself. And uh, how old uh, how old were you when you realized that you now I can speak English confidently?
I think it started when I started attending individual English lessons because in primary schools in Poland, you can't really know like language really good, at least if you don't have a good English teacher. And yeah, in primary schools, teachers don't really care that much. In high schools, it's different. But I didn't like English at all, and my mom and my dad, they thought that I need to know it because it's important. I started attending individual lessons, and then I started to actually know it, and then I discovered that I like this language, but I thought I didn't like it because I didn't know it and I couldn't understand what people were saying. But over the time, I really started enjoying learning English.
Thank you. Another question is about education in Poland. Okay, which is the better, like the private education or the public education? Are you attending private or public education?
Most schools in Poland and universities are public, and I attended a public primary school, and now I attend public high school. And I would say mostly, if we're speaking about high schools, the public ones are better because it's harder to get in. And with primary schools, the private ones usually are better because teachers care more about education. And yeah, about universities, it's also the public ones are better because it's harder to get in. With private ones, you just have to pay and you get in. So there are some good ones, but mostly they're not the same level as the public ones.
Have you thought about the graduation course, university that you were attending?
I after my graduation, I want to attend a public university and I want to become a psychologist, but I don't really know which university I'm gonna go to because it mostly depends where I can get into, which I can get into. Because it's hard to get into the university that you really want to get into because a lot of people want to go to the best schools and it's really hard. So I don't know where I'm gonna study, but I hope I can study in like Łódź or Warsaw. Warsaw is a capital city, and Łódź is another city in Poland, which I really like the university there.
Yeah, I have a daughter as old as you, and she's thinking about taking medicine college, but here in Brazil is the most expensive graduation course that we have here. In Poland also is the same, like in medicine, it's the most expensive course.
Well, medicine is free, but it's really, really hard to get into medicine. Because after high school, you write matura exams, and it depends what subjects you pick. Then for medicine, for example, you have to pick chemistry and biology, sometimes also math, and depends on how well you do on this exam, then you can get into medicine or not. Sometimes people have to retake their matura and they try to get into the next year because it's really hard to get into medicine.
Okay, thank you so much, Maria, for your
I think it's
answers.
very similar to Brazil. Well, the way she's telling us in Brazil is pretty much the same. Medicine is for free, but it's very difficult to get in. All right, Renato. Renato has a question. Welcome.
I can hear. I think the mic is off.
He speaks.
Mariana, okay, thank you. I think that the come back to the subject English. I don't know if you have already compared the system that people learn English or any other language before many years ago, because you have to follow the traditional methods. I mean, grammar, verbs, pronouns, and so on. Now, young people learn English, just listen to TV, listen to YouTube, and so on. Have you ever talked about this subject? Have you ever compared these two ways to learn English? Because many people that learn English using the traditional methods, studying grammar, studying verb, and so on, got stuck because they get afraid to speak wrongly. Yeah. I think that you learn English, probably listen to moves, listen to podcasts, and so on. How was your experience in terms of learning process?
Great
For
question,
me,
Renato.
for me, it was kind of I combined the two of them, the two ways, because in school I had to learn grammar and traditional way. Also, when I attended these individual lessons, and I tried to speak English to myself when I was in my room, and I watched movies. I listened to podcasts, and I think it's the best to combine the two ways because um, if you only listen to music, to songs, if you only learn it that way, you can't. Sometimes you don't really get grammar. So I think it's the best to combine these two ways
Uh,
to learn.
do you have opportunity to speak or to talk with native people in your environment?
Not really. Well, in Poland, we don't really have a lot of immigrants, let's say, and you can only speak to native speakers if you attend special individual classes, but they're really pricey. Um, so I can't really talk to native speakers, but now in my high school, because I attend like bilingual class, we speak a lot.
Okay, good, good. Okay, thank you.
Maria, a couple of years ago, I was in Poland, and I was
Mm.
really surprised when I tried to approach some teenagers on the streets to speak English to them, just to see their reaction. They were so happy that they had the chance to speak English, and most of them, they could. And there's a switch in the culture, I believe, because I've heard like something like that would not have ever happened like 10 years ago, let's say, or 15 years ago. And you're saying like you like to try to speak the language yourself. And let's say if you are at school with your like friends, you're all Polish, but would you be able to speak English to them to carry a conversation like you do in Polish?
Yeah, like I think all of us would be able to because we're in bilingual class, so
No, I mean, do you
we
do
have
that?
to.
Is that something that
Ah, do
guys
we do
do?
that? No, we don't do that.
No?
No, we never do that. Sometimes we just say some like words, but the whole conversations we never do that. Um, sometimes if like my friends from different schools, they ask me uh if they can practice with me, then I say yes, but I we don't just casually speak in English.
Do you think like in Brazil, I know 100% that people are very shy. So even if they could or they know the language, they wouldn't dare. They are so shy and especially with my friends, I'm not gonna dare to speak English. Is there also something in your culture? Like even if you know you could, you're just so shy and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think it's really a big thing here. It depends, but if you know that, if you have a friend and you know that this friend has a higher level of English than you, then people wouldn't really try talking to them because they're like, oh, they're gonna know that I don't really speak English that well. They're gonna hear all my mistakes and they're really shy. They just they just don't try.
All right. Um, I don't see anybody else with their hands. Let me ask you something. Like next year when you go to university, I hope, right? When you go to gonna finish high school, are you willing, like, do you dream to have a year abroad? And if you do, which country are you willing to go to study?
Um, I thought about like doing that, but it's really hard in Poland to like go on exchange to other country to study. Um, sometimes in some courses you can, but mostly people that study medicine do that, at least from what I heard. Right now in my city there are people from Mongolia because there's an exchange for 1 year with people that study medicine in at university in my city. But if I could, I really would like to, and uh, I think mostly I would like to try UK or USA. I think it's like really basic answer, but that's just what I wanted to do. Or maybe like Korea, South Korea or Japan, but I think it's harder to do that because probably you should know the language, and I don't speak Japanese or Korean.
I understand. I understand. All right, Renato is back with another question.
Okay, Aura, do you want to ask me, to ask Marie before me? Because I decided to make a question because I don't see anyone make a question. Yeah. Okay. So, Maria, I have two different questions for you. Um, well, I am much more older than you, and when I was young, I played volleyball for a long time. Yeah, and I remember that one of the first athletes that I saw when I played volleyball, and that he start hitting the ball from the back of the court was a guy called Thomas. Thomas was a Poland athlete that belongs to the national team of Poland. Okay, and so that's a kind of memory that I never forget. In terms of sport, what do you do for in terms of sport? Do you practice any kind of sport? What do you like to do to keep your fitness?
Um, I'm not really a sporty person. Right now, I don't really do anything. I'm gonna start going to the gym with my friends. But when I was younger, I practiced football.
Uh-huh. Yeah, great. And uh, and another question, it changed for economy. You have the prime minister called Donald Tusk, and
Mhm.
he makes a lot of propaganda about the growth of Poland. Do you have conditions to compare the situation of Poland from 10 years now, from 10 years up to now?
Um, I would say mm, it's a bit difficult, but I would say now, like, of course, everything is more expensive, but that's because of COVID. People are not having so many children, so that's a problem,
Yeah.
economical problem. And yeah, but I think now Poland is more open for
Uh,
people from abroad. I would
yeah.
say that, and uh, yeah, I yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, I think that when you're 17, I think that you don't have too many interest on and study about economy and politics because it's a kind of subject that sometimes becomes boring. Yeah, but Poland is a kind of place that I really would like to visit. And who knows? I've been to Italy 20 days ago. I came back from Italy. No, 15 days ago and I love to travel, and I intend to put Poland in my tour, in my plan. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Ara.
Hello.
Hi.
Um, I was also asking a question just to ask, but and it's okay. You said that you wanted to study like psychology and stuff. Do you see yourself staying in Poland forever then, or do you want to go somewhere else to live? Obviously, like you have to travel more, but yeah.
Mhm. I think that I want to stay in Poland because when I was younger, I dreamed of living in a English-speaking country. Like, I wanted to live in USA because I think like almost everyone wanted to live in USA when they were younger. But now I don't really want to do that much. And I wanted to live in UK, but I decided that the weather is horrible and I don't want to have rain every day. So yeah, I think I will stay in Poland mm, because yeah, I want to be close to my family and to my friends. Most of them will probably stay in Poland, or I know some of them want to move to Germany, but it's close, so yeah, I can still visit.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Ara. Okay, Heider.
Hello, guys. Hello, Maria. Nice to meet you. So, Maria, I'm 63 years old, you know, and I started studying English late in my life. Okay, and when I look a young face like you speak English fluently, I get motivated to continue to improve my English because it's not easy learning English here in Brazil. So, based in your experience in Poland, what advice you could give me to improve my English?
Mm,
Oh, that's so kind, Hayden. Thank you.
um, advice. I would advise you to try to just, if you do something, try to listen to English podcasts or watch English movies. That's really good one, especially if you watched it in your like native language before, and then you watch it in English. Then you, even if you don't know some words, you can get them from the context because you already watched it once. And I would also recommend that one is the next one is kind of stupid, let's say, but I really recommend talking to yourself when you're alone in English because it's really great practice. And when you talk to yourself, when you just tell yourself about your day, what you've done in the past, then you're not that shy when talking to other people, and it really helps.
Okay, just to complete, right now I study English by myself, okay, because I give up to studying in traditional course. Thank you so much for your answer.
Wow, Maria, you're so wise. That was a great, great advice because when I was learning English, that's exactly what I used to do. You do have to speak to yourself in your thoughts, and also when you have the chance, just to speak up to yourself, like, oh yes, today I went to the mall and it was nice. I saw this person and I bought this, I did that. Something very simple, because afterwards you're going to start to think in English, and that's when you
Mhm.
start dreaming. And then when you start dreaming in English, you know that you got it. So you're fluent. All right, Tiago is here with a question, and I see some boys on the back. So I'm just wondering which kind of question that would be.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
guys.
Hello, guys. Good
Hi.
morning. I'm here in Brazil with my crew, the guys, and everyone told me, oh, Maria is beautiful, beautiful.
Oh my
Thank
God, you
thank
see?
you.
Maria, they they are curious about your free time. What do you do your free time?
Oh, that's a
Mm,
great question. Then you can,
um,
Tiago, afterwards you can tell her what young people do in Brazil, because I'm pretty sure she's very curious about that as well. Okay, Maria, go ahead.
well, in my free time, mostly I hang out with my friends. We just go eat something, or we go window shopping in a shopping mall. And yeah, also in my like free time, I also do. I also do le English lessons with my friends, and I help them practice English. And most of the time, I'm just hanging out with my friends. Sometimes we go to the capital city, or we just visit other cities in Poland. So yeah, that's what we do.
And
Quite simple things.
also, Maria, like besides talking to yourself all the time on your free time, because don't you go to the movies anymore? Because most of us we're a little bit older, and back in the days, oh my goodness, we love to go to the movies. But I noticed that's something that people nowadays they don't like doing anymore. It's also in Poland not that popular anymore.
Well, nowadays we don't really go to the movies unless there's something that really, really want to watch and it's really hyped up. When there was a Barbie movie, we went to see that with my friends. But now when we have Netflix and all of other platforms, we don't really go to movies that much.
All
I
right.
uh,
Okay, Tiago, please tell her what young people do in Brazil, especially in São Paulo, where he's from.
No, it's the same. It's the same. The guys going to a shop, study a lot now. Uh, They are with one children, 7 guys in my house, and they play a video game. It's a moment, please.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, manda tchauzinho aí, turma.
Especially for Maria. Oh, Maria. Oh my goodness. You got all
play
the very
video
clever already.
Play
Okay, and
video
they
game,
eat a lot. They eat.
eat a
Maria,
lot.
do you eat? Do you eat a lot as well?
Eat a lot.
Yeah.
Do
We
you
eat a lot with our friends.
Yeah.
We mostly we eat fast food because we're teenagers. Yeah.
Fast food. All right, before we go further with the questions, Denise, would you please show us the Google's map? So, Maria, you're gonna let us know exactly where you live and how far it is from the capital city, and then you tell us which kind of food is the most famous in Poland, so that they can see as well, and then we can continue with the questions. Thank you, Denise. All right, so what's the name of the city, Maria?
So I live in Radom. I can spell it out.
Yes,
Radom.
Denise has it
I can
already.
spell it.
Okay, and then the capital is Warsaw, right? Warsaw.
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 All right,
Warsaw.
let's see how far it is for her. So you go by train or by bus or?
Yeah, most of the time with my friends we go by train. And it depends if you catch the like quick bus or the one that stops in every little town and countryside. The quick train takes 1 hour, and the slow one, let's say, takes an hour and a half.
Wow. And are you allowed to stay the whole day when you go? Your
Yeah.
father says, oh, you have to be back by 6 or something. Corfu?
Well, most of the time I have to be home by like 9 or 10 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, suppose that I want to go to random. I thought it was random. It sounds it spells like almost like a random. But suppose I want to go to random. Which place would you recommend me to visit in your city? I think it is a small town, right?
Yeah, it's a small. No, it's not that small. It has like almost 200,000 people living in there. It's like a medium-sized town in Poland. I think you should go to a city center because and to some museums in Radom. There's a really cool museum in Radom, and it's called the Museum of Radom, but it's really nice. They use like VRs. You can just look how it looked in the past. You can see how people used to dress in the past, and yeah.
What is the predominant religion in Poland? It is the Catholic.
Yeah, it's a Catholic religion.
Yeah, I saw a lot of churches. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
have a lot of churches. If I really wanted to go to a church right now, there's one like 3 minutes from where I live. Then the second one is like 7 minutes from where I live, and there's also the third one, and it would take me like 10 minutes to go there by foot, no, by bus or something. So yeah, a lot of churches in Poland.
And what about the food? Denise, can you please show us back the map?
Okay.
Which kind of food would you say, oh, this one, when you come to Poland, this is really famous, and around the world, when people say, I go to a Polish restaurant in Brazil or anywhere else in the world, they have to eat that. They have to have that in the menu. What is that from Poland's food?
I think it's pierogi. You
And how do you
might
write
have
that?
heard that. Pirogi.
Pierogi.
Pierogi?
Oh, the dumpling. Is a dumpling? Oh, and then is oh, oh, it
Yeah,
looks
you can
delicious.
get them with various fillings. There are some savory ones, some sweet ones. Because you can get ones that have like strawberries in it, like berries in it, or a sweet cheese, or there are ones with mushrooms, with onions and potatoes,
All
and with
right.
meat, of course. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's the most famous Polish dish right now.
Yes, it looks like because we don't eat that in Belgium. Do you guys eat that in Brazil sometimes? You don't know that, right? No. Leonie, in Switzerland, is that something that you sometimes can eat somewhere?
I don't know. I think I never saw them before, but
All right.
maybe
I
somewhere in a
thought so.
restaurant you can get them.
Yeah. I think it's really typical. Okay, so now we know typical foods from Poland. Pierogi. Pierogi. What is the pronunciation, Maria?
Pierogi.
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 It
Pierogi.
looks
Pierogi.
like our risotto, Simone. Our risotto, but
Oh,
our
but I
risotto
don't think
it's fried. It's fried. It's not cooked.
no, I don't think it's similar at all. No.
Only the shape. Only the
Yeah,
shape.
the shape. Yes.
Only the shape. Yeah.
All right, Rodrigo, let's move on, guys. Rodrigo, what is your question, please?
Okay, first of all, thank you, Maria, for your time. I want to come back to about education. And you said before that you don't know which university you get in. And I know you're talking about your choice is psychology. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to know if each university have its own specific exam, or is there a national exam? How?
Okay, so there's a national exam, and it's called Matura, and you have to write Polish, math, and language. Most people write English, but some write German. And then it depends on where you want to go. You have to pick certain subjects. So for psychology, I need math and English, but I could also write Polish and biology because it really depends on the university. And sometimes for the one course, you can, there are, for example, like you have to write two subjects and you can choose like for first one you can have like you have like four options, for the second one you have three options. So it really depends. And the universities, they decide what you have to write for the certain course. But yeah, there's a national exam. And it's you have to like only 30% to pass the exam, like the Polish, math, and mostly English. And if you don't pass the additional subjects, you still like pass your whole matura, but you can't really get to university. You just have that. You just can say that you passed matura exam. So yeah.
Yeah, here in Brazil, recently, I think less than 5 years, we have a national exam for all the federal universities, national universities, and just one exam, national exam. And it depends on your score in the subjects, and you can apply to all the universities in the country. You choose before everything, you choose the course, and not when depends on your score, and you can apply to the best universities. You have a good score. And nowadays, working in this way here in Brazil. Thank you.
It's kind of similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was very good, Rodrigo, for you to share that with her. I'm pretty sure she didn't know that. Thank you. Okay, Heider and Renato, please hanging there. I have Alison with a question. I would like Leonie to get ready also with her question. And Janice, he's here for the first time, and pretty soon he's gonna come back to be our special speaker. So don't be shy, get ready. All right, Alison, mic on, and let me hear you out. Let me see which kind of question that's gonna be.
So I have a question for Maria, because I want to know how you came on the idea to join this group, because you want to learn better English. So yeah, that was my question.
Okay, Alison, thank you. Maria, please tell us. I'm also curious. It's not something that your uncle said, Maria, you have to join Simone's group. You're not forced to do that, were you?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I
he
wasn't.
says yeah.
I wasn't.
Okay.
Well, he just told me that there's an opportunity like that, and I thought that it's a really great one because, as I already said, in Poland, you can't really practice your English, like speaking that well, because you can only do that in school, but in school it's mostly about answering questions only, and you can't answering like teachers' questions, and you can't really talk about what you really want to know. And I really like traveling and learning about different cultures. So I really thought that it was like a great deal because I can practice my English and get to know about different cultures. So I really thought that a great opportunity.
Did she answer your question, Alison? Do you have another one?
Yeah, actually another one, but just like for Hader. Because
Oh, okay.
you said that you don't really know how to practice your English, but when you watch films or serials, you can also put it in English so you can learn it faster. Or if you have a phone, then you could switch it from Portuguese to English, and that is just like much easier to learn faster English, because then you can search what the meanings is if you don't know it, and then you can learn it faster. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Alison.
Thank you.
I know
Thank
about that,
you.
but it was mostly about practicing speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking.
All right, guys, for the ones who don't know yet, Alison is my oldest daughter. She's 14 years old. She's coming here especially for Maria because they know each other from the other group. Aura is here as well, and Leonie. So I have a teenager group, and they all belong to that group. All right, let's move on. Thank you, Alison. Hey there,
Thank you,
you're
Alison.
back with a question. Maria,
Okay,
get ready.
Maria, do you think or are you learning other language?
That's a good
Well, in Poland you have to learn other language than English in school. And I learn German because mostly you learn German. Sometimes it depends on what class you get in. Sometimes people learn French or Spanish, but it's mostly German. In the capital city, you can also learn Italian and some other languages, but in my city, it's Spanish, French, and German. So yeah, I have to I have to learn German, but it's kind of difficult for me to like learn German. Mm, I think it's because of my teacher mostly. Yeah, because she's like really crazy about learning new words, and I get that, but she's always like, well, you have 300 new words for tomorrow. And we're like, oh, that's nice. Amazing. We have a lot of time to do that. So yeah, I
Okay,
don't really speak German that well.
okay. My opinion, I'm pretty sure you will be a polyglot. Yeah.
Yes, Heider. Please say,
Nice.
tell her that. And also, with all the Brazilians here admiring you, it's time for you to think, oh, Aura speaks Portuguese, Alison speaks Portuguese, Marianne speaks Portuguese, Simone speaks Portuguese. So why not give it a try? But now I'm going to test
Really?
you with your German. Leonie, please
Oh no,
help
no,
me
no.
out here. Leonie is Swiss and her mother tongue is German. Let's see, let's see. Right on the spot. All right, Leonie, your question in German, please.
Ähm, hat deine Schule Sportaktivitäten, die du machen kannst?
Oh my goodness. And she
If
understood? You
I
understood
think
that?
I think she asked about like activities that we do in PE in like school, yeah, sport.
Yeah, so if you have
Specifically?
like any sport
Wow.
activities you can do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We mostly play in school table tennis during our PE lessons, but the thing about PE in Poland, people don't like it and people don't attend it. They have to, but mostly people have like 50% attendance, or they just go to a doctor and they don't have to attend PE. So yeah, mostly it's like I have like 32 people in my class, and in my PE group, because we have groups during PE, it's like 15 people in my group, but when I go to a PE lesson, it's like 4 people there. So yeah, people don't really attend PE. But we
Right.
mostly play table tennis, and it's great.
All right, Leonie, thanks for being here. I know you're running late for your concert. Have fun, and I see you on Monday, hopefully. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Janice, are you ready with the question yet? Let me see if your mic. Oh,
Hello, everyone.
hi.
Hi.
Hello, Maria. Very good to know about Poland. And my question was about the English teaching at school, but I heard that someone already did this question. It was about the quality of the English teaching at school, because I heard that almost all the teenagers speak English in Poland. So I was thinking that at school they had a weak English teaching, but because in many countries, or in all the countries, they have the teaching of English in high school. So how is the English teaching in high school, and when it is enough for teenagers to speak English very well, or it's just a compliment?
Well, in high school, my level of English in my high school is really great, especially in my class because I attend a bilingual class and we have geography. Some geography lessons are in English. Our all of history lessons are in English. And last year we also had like civil studies in English, but it already ended. Well, in my high school, I have a lot of English, and the level is really great because they're teaching us to pass the bilingual matura exam. Because if now I'm in bilingual class, and because of that I have to write on matura bilingual English, bilingual level English, and it's like C2 or C1 plus level English. So yeah, and we start learning English in primary school. in first grade. But in primary schools, mostly it isn't that great. In high schools, it's better. But if you really want to learn English in high school, you should go to class with advanced English or with bilingual English, as is my class.
And how is it to practice English with other teenagers? Because I'm from Haiti and now I'm living in Brazil, and I have the same difficulties to find people to speak English, like at my work and at school, also at the college, because people are afraid to speak English to other people to not make mistakes. So how is it in Poland? Do people have the same fear to speak English to not make mistakes?
Yeah, people in Poland are afraid to speak English, but also teenagers. But I think uh, actually adults, if they know English, they're more scared to do it. Because now, like, yeah, because if you go to Poland as a tourist and you ask like an adult something in English, most of the time they won't answer even if they know English. But teenagers, they will at least try to like give you an answer even if they don't speak that well. But with friends and with other teenagers from Poland, they don't want to speak it because they know that they can communicate in different language in Polish, and they're scared that they will like other teenagers will point out their mistakes, and they're really scared to do that. But if some tourists ask them something, they really want to help, so they try to speak English. Yeah, but with other teenagers, they don't really want to.
Okay, thank you. That was my
Thank you, Hayden. So you're also welcome to join us. How old are you, by the way? I think you're 20, weren't you? Janice.
Yeah, I'm 21.
All right. You're also welcome to join us in the teenager group. All right, Renato, please ask a question.
Okay, Maria, just a curiosity. You know that the world champion in table tennis is a Brazilian, Hugo Calderano. Yeah, it's got the first position last championship in China. He is one of the after 20 years, a person out of China got a prize like that, got a championship like that. Yeah, just a curiosity. But my question is about the languages. Do you feel that you are mixing the language, confusing the language? Because I remember, for example, when the plane that I got from Italy to Brazil 2 weeks ago, the captain of the flight said, "Oh, people," he said, he tried to speak in English. People, you are landing in Brazil. The temperature is 22 degree. Okay, what he mixed? He mixed Portuguese with Italian and with English. 22 degree, because in Portuguese you have dois, a plural, it's a plural. In Italian, you don't have duas, you have due. Okay, so you have 22 degrees. Do you have this kind of problem, mix words in French, in German, in English, and do you have this? Do you have you faced this kind of situation when people talk with someone?
Yeah, sometimes I talk with people like, for example, in Polish, and sometimes I don't know how to say it in Polish, and sometimes I even don't know how to say in English, but I don't know why. I remember how to say it in German, and I don't really speak German that well. So sometimes I'm like, well, with people, when it's like an English word, I still say it if I forget it in Polish because, yeah, people will understand me, but sometimes I also forget like the Polish and the English one. I'm like, will you understand if I say it in German? So yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
I mix up words and sometimes I forget words in my native language and I remember them in English or in German, which is
yeah.
funny because, yeah.
And the problem for me in Italy was, for example, when the receptionist in a hotel, for example, tried to speak something in English and Italian at the same time. So they mix the words and try to the words that she doesn't know, she used Italian. And I don't know Italian well. So for me, it was a big confusion to understand what she was saying. Yeah, just a curiosity. But my question is, young people had a deep desire to have a car here in Brazil 2 generations ago, 1 or 2 generations ago. How is the behavior of young people in Poland about this kind of desire?
Yeah, a lot of people really want to have a car, and now I went to school like 1 year earlier than I was supposed to. So all of my friends now are 18, and when you're 18, you can get your driving license in Poland. So they're all about saving up money for a car. They want to buy the coolest car. They're taking their exams for a driving license, but I'm not that crazy about cars. I'm always like afraid that when I get my driving license, I will crash my car, like the first one driving after getting it. So yeah. But yeah, well, my friends really want to get a car.
Yeah, because I feel that here in the 5 countries that I visited lately, US, Canada, Italy, Portugal, Spain, and here in Brazil, six countries, you see that the desire for having a car reduced a lot, and people prefer to have a smartphone or something like that. It's a kind of change of behavior, a change of the wish, the desire that they have in terms of consumption. Okay, this is a kind of thing that's make me curious about that. When I was young, everybody wants to drive a car. Okay, even to ride a motorcycle. But I think that nowadays this kind of desire change a lot. Yeah. So that was my curiosity. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Renato,
Thank you.
just to complement on your comments, I believe that it's completely true what you're saying and also what you notice during traveling. However, when you travel, you visit big cities, right? Also in Brazil, Santos is not a small city. Tell her how many people live in your city, Renato, so that she
Now,
has an idea. Hmm?
Santos is a city that lives the population around 436,000 people living here.
You see, that's
Mhm.
Yeah,
double from where she lives, right? So
yeah,
that was
yeah,
the point. Um, I'm pretty sure that people who live in the capital, Warsaw, the young people, they have subways, they have Ubers, they have so many other options that they change the consumption desire,
yeah,
as you're saying. São Paulo for sure. Now, when you're talking about small cities like where we live here in Belgium, it's very difficult for you not to have a car. So if
yeah,
Alison, my daughter, if she's going to stay here, she's most probably is going to have a car when she's 18. If you're living in Brussels or in Amsterdam, no one will want a car. They want to travel, they want to do other stuff. Aura just turned off her camera, and I was wondering about her because she's raised in South Africa, living in Lisbon at the moment. So she would be able to tell us about both countries. Aura, are we still there? Do you have time to tell us anything about
No,
that?
I'm still here. I'm so sorry. I'm just at work. Give
And
me one
also,
second.
if
I'm
you
gonna
know,
respond in like 2 seconds.
all right, so she's, as I was saying, born in Germany, raised in South Africa, living in Portugal, Lisbon. So she's going to be able to tell us how is the situation in these three countries. While you're waiting for her, Janice, can you tell us in Haiti, it's a small island, right? Do you guys, young people, are you crazy about cars as well?
Yes,
Really?
people, people like cars and motorcycle also. And where I live in Brazil,
Where
um,
is that?
I have this desire. I'm living in Santa Catarina
Oh,
and also in a small city, Palhoça.
and they are crazy about cars as well?
Yes, car, motorcycle, because um, the transportation here is very difficult. So when you have a car, it's very good.
Yeah, so it goes back to the point, to what I was trying to explain you guys. As soon as you leave the big cities, car, you want to show, especially the young people, they want to have a nice car, they want to show, they want to just drive in the little square in the middle of the town. But in the big cities, I'm pretty sure it's not like that anymore. Unfortunately, we
Okay,
just ran out of
I'm
time.
so sorry.
Oh, Aura is back. Thank
Hello.
you, because we don't have that much time left. So please tell us, Germany, South Africa, and Lisbon, how it is about having cars. Are people crazy about it? Because I know
I'm not.
you're from a small town in South Africa and you're living in the capital of Portugal. So there's a difference already there.
Yeah, yeah. Like because of. Sorry, I'm at work, so I'm trying to do everything. But because of where I used to live in South Africa, um, I lived in like a very posh part of South Africa. So they were very crazy about their very fancy sports cars. So a bunch of teenagers would always have like the fanciest looking cars. I don't see it that much in Lisbon. Maybe it's because of where I live, but I know that in South Africa, they were definitely very crazy about their cars. And in Germany, I never really lived there, so I'm not 100% sure. But like they seem to really like their cars. I mean, most of the brand cars are from there, so I'm not sure.
I appreciate your answer, and it's exactly what I wanted to hear. All right, guys, time's up. Maria, thank you so much for doing this for us. I know it's your first time talking to really adults, and you nailed, girl. You're ready to just,
Thank you.
just do your thing. Do not be nervous. You can just talk to adults all the time. If you want to join us also in this program, you're more than welcome. Aura does that already. So doors will be always going to be open for you. And I hope you really enjoy your time as well with us.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Next week, we're going to be back
Okay.
with Vanderlei. Most of you
Bye-bye.
know him,
Mhm.
American Brazilian guy,
Yep.
and it's going to be lots of fun as well. Enjoy your weekends, and thank you so much for being here.
Guys, have a great
Okay,
weekend.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Maria. Bye,
Bye-bye.
See
everybody.
you. Thank you,
Bye,
Maria.
See you
guys.
Monday.